Welcome to the Garments Engage Crochet podcast, where I chat about crochet garments and other yarny things. I am Michelle Ferguson, crochet pattern designer of Two Brothers Blankets. You can find me at twobrothersblankets.com, on Facebook and Instagram at Two Brothers Blankets, and right here on YouTube every week for this crochet podcast. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you'll subscribe and click that bell so you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. So we are back from vacation, and it is August already. Wow, summer flew by. I'd love to know what you have plans for this fall. Are you doing craft fairs? Are you selling on Etsy? Are you designing? Are you just a hobbyist who plans on making some blankets or some sweaters or what? I'd love to know if you've got some good fall crochet planned out yet. We are going to be starting school, and I've definitely already started fall. Got to think ahead. So anyways, I am so excited to have Pam of the Crochetpreneur on the podcast today. I interviewed Pam, and she is just my favorite. So if you don't know, Pam is the creator and coach of the Crochetpreneur Business Academy. I joined CBA back in April of 2019, and I always say that if it had not have been for CBA, I would have quit doing this. I would have went back to work, maybe out of the house, or who knows? I don't know what my life would look like right now if it hadn't been for CBA, honestly. She is so knowledgeable, so welcoming. She was a therapist before this, so she knows like how the mind works and how to make sure we take time for our mental health and ways of thinking that entrepreneurs tend to have, all kind of stuff. So she's just amazing. She's been so helpful to me. She's become one of my closest friends, and I'm just really, really thankful for Pam. So I got her on the show to interview her about CBA, about running a crochet business, whether that's crochet designing, product making, sample making, tech editing, whatever that looks like for you. She gave some really great tips and lots of info about CBA and growing your business, your crochet business. So here we go. Check out this interview. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am so excited to have Pam of the Crochetpreneur here. She is the founder and creator and coach of the Crochetpreneur Business Academy. She pretty much helped me save my business and get it to where it's at today. So I just love Pam and love everything she is doing. Hi, Pam. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Oh, sorry. I'm talking over you. Sorry.
No, you're good. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into crocheting, how you got into designing, and then eventually becoming a coach for crochet designers and makers and business owners.
That's a lot. Okay, so it's a long story. No, it isn't. So I started crocheting when I was a kid. My grandmother was a crocheter, my mom was a crocheter, and I was this kind of kid that was like, if someone else can do it, then I can do it. And no, I don't want you to teach me. I can figure it out myself. And so I got some leisure arts, pamphlets of different things, mostly, excuse me, mostly stuffed animals, because that's what was interesting to me. And so I just followed along with the pictures of like how to make the stitches, and I just figured out, the abbreviations and all of that. And if it didn't come out right, I obviously did it wrong. So I would take it out and do it again. So that's how I learned. And I just loved it. And, as I started babysitting, I would be babysitting kids. And after I put them to bed, I would crochet them a stuffed animal to leave behind, or it was just really fun. And so that has been my outlet ever since I was a kid. Wow. So as I got older, I just kept making things. And at some point you run out of people to give things to. And so the inventory started piling up. And my husband, who is a food vendor, was doing festivals all the time. And he's like, why don't you come and sell your stuff? So I was selling, at the time I had 3 Etsy shops. So I started my crochet shop. So I started my crochet shop. I was selling jewelry. I was also selling artwork, paintings. And so I just brought all of that stuff with me to a fair and set up this like hodgepodge of a booth and did not sell very much. And I learned from that experience about niching down. That's why you need to have a niche, because people love niches and people will come and shop from you when you're the specialist, right? So I started niching down, and I started to have just my crochet booth at craft fairs, and that started really taking off. And I would sell out at my craft fairs of all my inventory, and that was amazing.
Wow.
And then I decided to start, I think it's natural progression of, wow, now I'm making a lot of stuff. And I don't like making the same thing the same way until you start designing. And I started designing. I had a product that took off like crazy, which was really fun and exhausting and made me really not want to make hats anymore for quite a while. But, and you know this, my side job, which was my real job, was as a psychotherapist. So I was seeing clients part-time. I always just wanted to work part-time. And so I was seeing clients part-time in my private practice and doing my crochet. And when everything got crazy, I was like, I'm having a hard time being present with my clients, and was trying to think of like, what else could I do? And it just kind of seemed like a natural thing that just happened, where I just started coaching people with their crochet business. So I took that kind of understanding of psychology and understanding of mindset, and put it together with my understanding of how to run a business. And so now I help people have profitable crochet businesses, and it is a joy. I love it.
She does it all, y'all. Like, she is the coolest. Okay, so crochet businesses. Now a lot of people, like, I'm a designer, and like you said, we kind of all start off like selling our stuff. Do you help people who are just makers and just sell their stuff? And is that a profitable business? Like, can that be, like, if someone's here just watching and they just are thinking about an Etsy shop or want to help with the income, but they're a stay-at-home mom, is that really a profitable business that they can really pursue?
So yes, and it totally just depends on you and your strategy and figuring out who you want to sell to, what they want to spend money on, and then creating those things. So it's not about creating things that you don't love. So the magic happens when you create your business around creating things that you love for people that you love to work with, who love to buy those things, right? So it's kind of a Venn diagram that all comes together. And when you create things that people love, they're willing to spend money on it, and that's how you make a profit. If you just want to make what you want to make, and you'll charge what people will pay or what you think people will pay, which is usually less than people will pay, you're not going to make a profit. So it's all about that strategy of saying, what do people want? What do I love to make? Who do I want to work with? And what do they want to spend money on? And really not trying to sell to people who don't love your stuff.
Right.
So often makers will find people who say, oh, I could make that, or my mom could make that for less, or, oh, I have a crochet business and I sell that for half what you're charging. Okay, fine. Just blow those people off. They're not your customers. Like, focus on selling to people who will pay you what you're worth. And if you do that, you can have a product-based business, you can have a design business, whichever. You just have to get those pieces in place properly in order to create the profits that you want.
That is what CBA does, is she helps us figure out the process and the strategy
to get where we want to go and to make that profit and all that. So, what do you think is the biggest struggle, hurdle that crochet business owners face today?
So I think there's a few things. Honestly, there seems to be like there's mindset issues. So that's kind of what we tackle in CVA differently than I think a lot of programs that'll walk you through how to build an Etsy shop, how to start a business. But because of my background as a psychotherapist, we really do focus on why are you lacking confidence in yourself? Why are you letting perfectionism keep you stuck? Like those issues that maybe you didn't understand were even there. So the biggest issue I see is a lack of confidence. And I think that in our culture, women are just raised with a myriad of insecurities, whether it's from our culture, whether it's from their family, whether it's from other kids growing up, bullying, all of that stuff plays into where you are as an adult. And if that's not addressed, it comes into your business and it keeps you playing small or comparing yourself to other people. And so often, if someone is stuck in their business, it has more to do with their mindset, their beliefs about themselves, and their ability to create profits or their worth than anything else. So that I think is the first thing someone has to tackle. And then the other kind of major thing that people struggle with is the business stuff, the tech stuff, right? So we have crocheting down. Like we can crochet all day long. We can do all the things in our craft. But it's the business things, it's the bookkeeping, it's the tech of creating a blog or creating a website, creating an Etsy shop. Like creating an Etsy shop is so easy. Like you can create an Etsy shop in an hour.
Right.
But people take months and months and months to create an Etsy shop because they're afraid of the technology.
Yeah.
So kind of tackling that A, fear of technology, and B, the actual step-by-step pieces of the technology. Those are the big stumbling blocks I think that people have.
Okay, address this. This is not one of the questions I sent you, but
Okay.
you say it so well, so we're gonna talk about it. The market being saturated. How do you address that when people say that to you? But it's just so saturated. How do I stand out? What sets me apart from any other crocheter?
Mm-hmm. So this is one of my biggest pet peeves.
I know, that's why
Facebook
I brought it
groups,
up.
right? All the time. Someone says, I want to start an Etsy shop, and someone immediately chimes in and says, you can't sell online anymore. The market's saturated. No one wants to buy your stuff. No one cares about handmade products. There's too many people selling the same things. You have to stop that, right? And it comes back to that mindset of like, you create beautiful things. Like own that.
Right.
Own the fact that there are unique things about you. There are unique things about the way that you'll treat your customers, unique things about the products that you're making. And when you communicate that with your customers, you're unique in the marketplace. There's no the marketplace is not saturated with you, right? There's not hundreds of you out there trying to steal your customers. There's you trying to get in front of your customers so that they know you exist. So there are people waiting to purchase from you. They're waiting. They're out there looking at all of these people and they're saying, that's not my person. That's not my person. That's not my person. They're waiting for you to say, I'm your person and here's why.
Right.
But if you can't own your awesome, which is what I tell it, own your awesome.
You're awesome.
Tell people who you are, how you serve them, how you can help them, and they're going to be more likely to buy from you. The market isn't saturated with people owning their awesome.
No, exactly. I love that. You'd be so surprised. Like it sounds like, okay, but there's still a bajillion crochet pattern designers and crochet makers. But you guys would really be surprised at I have customers that will buy my patterns because they like the way I type up the pattern. Like they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or they like that my patterns feature a certain something or other. You know what I'm saying? Like there are your people out there that will like what you have to offer, like who you are as a person, and will, like she said, will be waiting to purchase from you. So
right.
I knew I had to address it because Pam's so good at it. Oh, you're awesome.
So it really, really, it makes me sad because I really, really have a heart for women and a heart for women who don't believe in themselves.
Mhm.
So I really, really, really want y'all to believe in yourself because it really shines through, right? You can scroll through Instagram stories and you can see the people who are back here and you can see the people who are up here, right?
I won't
They're
show
the
their
people
face
who
at
are
all.
hiding, but right. So be the person who's here, who has energy, who's excited about their business, excited about their products, not like, hey, I made this thing. Do you like it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
There's
what would you
nothing
pay
more
for
annoying.
this? I know.
There's nothing more.
Like people are not drawn to insecurity. They're not drawn to desperation.
Right.
They're drawn to energy and positivity and you saying like, oh my gosh, look what I made. Isn't it adorable? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or your things, of course, are not this big. Your things are.
Right. No. Yep, exactly. So if someone is thinking about or just wondering like what it is and what it can do for crochet business owners, explain CBA to us.
Okay. So CBA is kind of multifaceted. So in the coaching industry, there's this saying that says, sell them what they want, give them what they need, right? So when people join CBA, they join for the step-by-step process of starting a crochet business, which is definitely needed. And that's kind of the largest part of CBA is the like, this is how you create a subscribe form. This is the step-by-step process of creating an Etsy shop. Like step by step by step, this is what you do first. Make sure you get your license, make sure you have your sales tax stuff in order, all of that. What you really need is the mindset piece. And that's what I give you too. But people typically don't join for that because they don't know that they need that. Right?
Yeah.
You find out as you start working through, you start looking at what's your personality, who do you want to work with, what do you sell, what are your triggers, you know, how are you going to respond to customers who trigger you? And then they're like, oh, I don't know. So in CBA, we address both of those. So remember, I said the two biggest struggles people have are those mindset issues or the insecurities, the lack of confidence, plus the step-by-step tech. So we don't focus a lot on how to crochet. We don't do that because you're business owners, you know how to crochet.
Right.
You know, I will walk you through how to write a pattern if you want to learn that. But mostly we don't focus on crochet skills, we focus on business skills. And so my goal is to help you make profits. So that's the other big piece of CBA is we're not just starting a business to pay for your yarn. We're creating actual entrepreneurs and business owners who can pay the family bills, who can retire their husbands, who can pay for family vacations. You know, it's more than just buying yarn.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain personality type, a certain drivenness of people who are in CBA. And having that like-minded community, whether you're in the regular CBA that doesn't have a Facebook group or group coaching, you still have that kind of mindset and you bring that into your business. Or we have, you know, the VIP program that has the community, the group coaching and all that, where everyone can come together and really support each other.
That in and of itself is a mindset. Like, I'm gonna make profit from this. This is more than just a hobby. Like I remember you talking about getting past that hobby mindset. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing too. Okay, so what is your biggest tip, like that you can share with someone starting out, someone or even seasoned crochet business owner? What would you be your biggest tip for them?
My biggest tip is don't stop, right? So stopping can look like allowing yourself to be stuck. Stopping can look like I'm overwhelmed and this is hard, so I'm going to go binge watch a TV show rather than work on my business. Or stopping can be like, this is hard and I'm quitting,
Right.
rather than saying, how do I take the next step in my business? Not looking way down the road and how do I get there, but what's the next step I need to take today? So like really being tenacious about taking the next step and saying, I'm not going to be stopped. I'm not going to be stopped by feeling overwhelmed. I'm not going to be stopped by someone else has more followers than I do and that makes me feel bad about myself. No. So like really you have to own that. No one's going to do that for you. And people who have successful crochet businesses are able to say, okay, that doesn't feel good.
Right.
Somebody just came out with a design just like mine and they're a bigger designer than me and maybe they copied me. That feels really bad. I could let that keep me stuck, or I could say, all right, that's their thing.
Moving on.
I'm gonna move on and do what I need to do for my business.
Yeah, good. That's good. And that's basically what she told me. I think I remember writing it down numerous times. Like, what's the next best thing for my business right now?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna link a blog post in the description of my whole story, but I was literally this close to stopping when I met Pam. So she's right, y'all. Listen to her. Okay, so just for fun, no, you don't have to give me advice or anything for this one. What is your favorite part of your job? And do you miss, because I know you're so busy now, you have so many members, do you miss designing and crocheting as much as you used to? Or do you still do
Okay.
it? Do you still find time to do it? I don't know. Not as much.
No, okay. So I'll answer the first question first.
Okay.
Because that's
Sorry.
the easier one. What's my favorite part? My favorite part is seeing people take action and like get success. Like this is like um I have my own little celebrations here and I get a little bit, see, just talking about it, little teary when someone's like, I got my first Etsy sale, or
Yeah.
I made more money this month than I've ever made, or my husband gets to take a week off from work because I paid for the family vacation and we don't even have to, like all of the things. I'm like, people's lives are better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets to me. So all of that's my favorite part, is seeing people do it.
Right.
So do I miss designing? So yes. So like I say so a lot. Sorry.
At least not I say all the time. So
I do say too. Um yes, designing. I have so many designs in my head and I have so many designs started. I have so many designs completed that aren't written up that I just have to talk myself into letting it go.
Right.
It's really hard.
Yeah, because I can't imagine not, like, if I go a few days without crocheting, my eye starts twitching, like, so I wondered if it was the same or if it was, different for you, but yeah.
No, it's the same. And even yesterday, I was like, where's my favorite hook? I just need to get some yarn out. I am going to start making some blankets for our new house that someday we're going to have a house. So I'm working on some blankets. So I will hopefully share those patterns, but maybe not. Yeah, our property is called Catan Ranch because our favorite game is Settlers of Catan. And so I'm making a bunch of hexagon blankets, different patterns of hexagon symbols, because that's like the board. If you've ever played Catan, the board of Catan is a bunch of hexagons. So we're going to have a bunch of hexagon blankets, all different styles.
Oh, neat.
So that's what I'm going to do this year. And I may write them down, I may not. Just because it's a thing,
It's she works so hard, you guys, on coaching part of it.
So I really, really, really like the coaching business. This is what people pay me for. And I wouldn't feel right saying, oh, I'll just put that on hold for a little bit while I go over here and design some things. Like that's not
right.
So yeah.
Because you're running a business too. You have to, yep. I bet. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about crocheting and running a business and CBA. So now I know there's like a wait list sometimes. Sometimes the doors are open to CBA and sometimes they're not. So can you just tell us where people can follow you? Because she also has a lot of really great free resources while you wait if you're interested in joining CBA, and then like what they can expect as far as like openings for CBA or anything like that, how they can go on that.
You can follow me. So for tips and other information, you can go to crochetpreneur.com. I have blog posts there, I have resources there, and there are podcast episodes. More podcast episodes are coming soon. With a question mark.
Yeah, some really good ones already up though. Yeah.
Yeah, they are coming. It's just a matter of like our living conditions right now are not ideal because we're waiting for our house.
Right. You're building a house on a ranch.
We are. It's going to be so beautiful. But right now, all we have is a mud pit and no foundation. So anyway, you can follow on crochetpreneur.com. My Facebook and my Instagram are the Crochetpreneur. And what else? Oh,
your free Facebook group.
I have a free Facebook group for crochet business owners. I pop in there and give tips and address kind of things that I see happening in other Facebook groups. If there are some like bad information being shared in other Facebook groups, I will post my thoughts in my own Facebook group because I don't really want to.
She's not afraid of tough love, y'all.
No,
which is good. It is good and needed.
So I really believe that just kind of saying the truth is just important of like, you deserve better than to charge $3 an hour for making something, stuff like that. So yeah, that group is called Crochetpreneurs. So facebook.com/groups/Crochetpreneurs with an S on the end. Join. We have like over 4,000 people in there, and many of them are really active. So if you have questions, pop in there. And then the doors to CBA. So right now they're closed. We just had an influx of people right after the Crochet Business Summit. So we're getting them kind of on board and what's situated. However, I think Michelle has an affiliate link down below that you can click on. It will take you to a masterclass all about how to jumpstart your crochet business, kind of my philosophy of the steps that you need to take. And if you watch that masterclass, you just might get an invitation to join CBA, even though the doors are closed. So, that is the only way to get in. Other than that, the doors will open again in a couple of months. So I need
like twice a year. Usually, you do a
So usually it's twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. Yeah. So that's the plan.
Awesome. If you guys have any questions for Pam, leave them in the comments and we'll make sure to answer them, either myself or Pam.
Okay, for sure. I'll pop back in over time and answer questions too. So
and no, you said Facebook and Instagram where they can follow you. She does what is it called? Crochet business chats on Instagram lives with really good tips and stuff. So I mean, she has a lot of really great resources for you guys while you wait for the doors to open for CBA. I cannot recommend CBA enough. And thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam, for all that you've done for my business. You have been an amazing part of my life for the last 3 years. I think I joined in April of 2019. So huge part of my life.
It's been a joy having you. And now you're one of our student mentors because you know the system back and forth, and you just have that kind of heart of wanting to help people as well. So
I love seeing all the people, and that's why I definitely wanted you on here. My son will be like, he'll hear your voice on my phone. Is that Pam? They know you. Everybody in this house knows you. So yeah, they'll be like, is she on there now? Are you talking to her? I'm like, no, she's live. So well, thank you so much for being on. I'll put all your links and everything in the description so people can follow you and find you and get all your amazing wisdom and advice. We will see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Don't you just love Pam? She's so inspirational. I'll definitely be putting some links in the description for you so that you can get more information from her and follow her. she has tons of resources that are both free and paid, and every bit worth it. So love her. Love you, Pam, if you're watching. Okay, let's get into what's in my WIP bag. So I finally made a decision on the baby blanket. I talked about this, I don't remember, a couple of weeks ago. And I wasn't sure whether I was going to go with the Lion Brand Pound of Love corner to corner, or if I was going to do something else. Well, I've decided to do something else. I did like the Pound of Love, and I love corner to corner. I'm actually going to review the Pound of Love for my Brutally Honest Yarn review, but I decided I wanted to use WIP Crochet's Brava Sport. It was softer. I had some good color combos that I could use, and I decided to go with that. So here we are. I have started oops, that's upside down, a Happy Herringbone Chevron baby blanket in Brava Sport. Hold on, let me find the colors. We have Tide Pool. I think the next one is Mint. And I got yarn everywhere. Dove Heather is the light gray. And I am going to alternate these three colors for it and do some sort of trim, because as you can see, it's kind of bending right here where the chain is. So I want to flatten that out. I'm thinking I might do the mint color for the trim, but isn't that pretty? That's going to be so cute. I'm really excited about it. And only a couple months to go. My sister's due in October, so I need to get on that big time. But I decided to go with that, and I'm super happy with it. So I'm like, it's one of those, like, I have all these designs I need to be finishing up and getting done and getting patterns written and all that stuff, but all I want to do is work on the baby blanket. So that is my current WIP right now. I still have that Cabo Derby Duster vest somewhere in my WIPs that I need to finish, because I definitely want to update that pattern, but I haven't worked on that much. So hopefully I can share some progress on that soon. All right, let's get into the yarn review. So I said I was going to do the Lion Brand Pound of Love. Let me grab it. Pound of Love, this big old skein of yarn. I'm sure you've seen it at the yarn store. This is called Pastel Green. Pound of Love is a medium weight 4. It comes in this big ball of 1,020 yards. It is machine washable and dryable. So there you have it. Lots of colors. I have a taupe color. A couple of these big balls of the taupe color that I wanted to make a blanket for my couch for. I started it. One of those things I've started and never finished, but I keep saying I'm going to finish it. Really nice colors. And these are great for blankets, because especially a solid blanket, because you don't run out of yarn. You don't have to change or add yarn at all, pretty much. So, I guess depends on how big your blanket's going to be, but yeah, for the most part, these are really nice for blankets. So when I was chatting about the baby blanket and couldn't decide, I told you I had started the corner to corner and thought, it's not that soft. I don't know. So this is the start of the corner to corner. I fastened it off and I washed it in the machine and dried it in the machine, in the dryer. I washed it on delicate with other crochet projects, and dried it on like low heat for 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. It did get a little softer. It's still not as soft as the Brava Sport. That's just the truth of the matter. So it did get a little softer. It held its shape. It's not that fuzzy. It is a little bit fuzzy, but like this would be a really good yarn if I wanted to make a blanket. If I wasn't worried about it being super soft for a newborn, this is a great blanket yarn. Like I said, I'm going to make one with the taupe color for my couch. Like, we don't have a new baby in the house. For just a blanket, it's great because, and it's a great yarn for gifting, because you can throw it in the machine, you can throw it in the dryer, and it holds its shape. It doesn't look bad. It held up. It's a little bit fuzzy, but not bad. It's something that you can gift and be like, yep, you can machine wash it, throw it in the dryer on low heat. You should be fine. Now, I would probably recommend low heat. You don't want it to get too hot because it is 100% acrylic. But it's a good blanket yarn. So for a blanket yarn, I give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe not baby blanket. For a baby blanket, maybe like 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's not that soft. I don't know that I would use it for a garment. For me, this is just like a good go-to blanket yarn, but not much else. Maybe scarves and hats. Yeah, it would be great. I just don't see myself wearing this as a sweater. So I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10, 6.5. It's a good yarn. It's a good sturdy yarn. It's a good affordable yarn. I know Michaels puts their big skeins 40 or 50% off every now and then. So you can get that big old skein for like $5 or $6. So it's definitely a great affordable yarn, a sturdy yarn, a good acrylic, great for blankets. I'm all about it for blankets. Anything else? Not so much. So there you go. That is my review of Line Brand Pound of Love. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of that baby blanket. Do you love it as much as I do? That is a free pattern on my blog, the Happy Herringbone Chevron Baby Blanket. It's free on my blog. I'll link it in the description. And let me know what you thought about my interview with Pam. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys next week. Be sure to subscribe.